Not so long ago, AMGs were about sledgehammer performance and little else, but with the latest C, E and SLS models, Mercedes has shown that it's now producing credible alternatives to BMW's M products. But now with this, the new C63 AMG Coupe, Mercedes finally has a proper rival for the BMW M3. To find out exactly how it measures up, we're fortunate enough to be just west of Seville on what I think is one of the best driving roads in the whole of Europe. So this is one of the curious EU-funded roads you find in Spain that seems to go to the middle of nowhere, but is perfectly serviced and completely empty. But enough about the road. What about this new C63 AMG? Well, it's going to retail for 57 grand in the UK, which puts it on the money with BMW's M3 Automatic, because this C63 is auto only. However, you do get more power in the Merc than either the BMW M3 or in fact the Audi RS5. This has got 450 horsepower. The engine you got in this C63 is very different in character to the M3's. More gutsy, but maybe a little less variety to its character and less frenzied at the top end. It does, however, make a fantastic noise. Get a load of this. Other aspects I like, well, the steering is very good. I reckon it's got more feel than that of an M3, and the chassis does have very good poise and balance, and is just that little bit keener to turn in. The C63 does, however, lose out to the BMW in terms of transmission. Mercedes called this the AMG Speed Shift, but it's effectively a 7-speed automatic, but with a clutch in place of a torque converter. But in the BMW, you get a choice of a dual clutch gearbox, which is both faster and slicker, and of course you get the option of a proper manual. But what I like most about the C63 is its breadth of ability. It is fantastically enjoyable on an amazing road like we've got today, but it's also just as enjoyable to drive it on normal roads. I actually told a bit of a fib earlier on, because this particular road doesn't actually lead nowhere. It takes us to the Circuit Monte Bianco, so I think we better go and have a few laps. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you may notice we are now in a different car. Mercedes have specific track cars they use on events like this, and the big change really is that this car is running the standard 18-inch alloy size, which the engineers say just gives a slightly more progressive response as the car starts to slip. One thing I have noticed with this is there's very, very little understeer. You just turn in, it bites, and even without much throttle, it will start to slide from the rear. Coming onto the main straight here, third gear, plenty of revs, 7,000 up to 4th, that's 100 miles an hour. That's 200 clicks, I can't do the conversion. And hard on the brakes. How do they stand up? This car is running the standard brakes, not the composite brakes, and pretty good pedal response and pretty good ABS judgment, really. How well does it cope on track? Well, you've got to bear in mind it is a road car, but taking that into consideration, I think it does very well. I'd say it runs the M3 pretty close in terms of entertainment, but as long as you've got the budget to pay for those rear tyres. So in conclusion, it comes down to two questions. Does the new C63 Coupe offer something over the existing saloon and estate? And the answer to that is yes, it's that little bit better controlled and precise to drive. And the second question, how does it compare with the BMW M3? Well, they're still quite different cars in character, but personally speaking, for me, now I'd take the Mercedes. It's just more amusing more of the time.